direct market commercials for pharmaceuticals. No other country in the world has ever done that.
It's no wonder we all want to kill ourselves, but we're worried we're going to get anal leakage.
Yeah, every time I see a friggin' pharmaceutical commercial, I think, oh my God, I must be dying because I have, let's see, my stomach is upset and my head hurts, or I don't have anal leakage, but I'm sure somebody does out there.
Yeah.
They use the most basic symptoms to make you think that you're sick, so you'll run to your doctor and buy their pill. It's like, really? How about we cure disease as opposed to manage disease?
Well, there's not enough money in that.
I understand that, but this is the 21st century, and we need to start thinking about the long term.
We've got to allow marijuana.
No shit.
No fucking shit.
Well, it's not just marijuana. I mean, it's the marijuana, it's the oils, it's the herbs, it's the actual edibles, it's the hemp. It's all of the stuff that could benefit our country that we're just destroying because, it's a drug.
Just think of all the fucking trees we're killing to make fucking paper.
Yeah, hemp grows so fast that we would not have to deforest half the United States to be able to provide enough paper.
All you druggies, you know what? Unless you actually heat the THC, it's not going to activate and actually do anything fun to you. It's like sticking rosemary or thyme or sage in your salad. So
or Cavanders.
Fucking educate yourself,
people. A little
people.
bit of garlic. Right?
Can we kill off the stupid?
No. Apparently we can't. That just doesn't work that way.
Because I'm serious, you could sit there and you could just have a bag of pot and you could just eat it, and it's not really going to do anything to you until you actually heat it.
If you have a bag of pot and you just eat it, then I think that you're not understanding exactly how that pot works.
Exactly. It's a fucking plant. It's like eating, like I said, thyme, sage, rosemary. I mean, it doesn't have any... It's not going to make you high unless you actually heat it up. But people don't understand that. They're just like, all these druggies. Well, what about all you fucking Prozac poppers?
Hey, yeah, that's the thing. A druggie. Okay, let's classify the word a druggie.
Can we put Pfizer on pot and call it cool?
If you have an actual pharmaceutical stamp on your pill, then does that mean that you're not a druggie? Because the biggest epidemic right now is pharmaceutical addiction. OxyContin, morphine, any of those painkiller types.
Your doctors are drug dealers with a script. That's it.
They give you a prescription, you get hooked on that prescription, and then when they say, we can't give that to you anymore, instead of treating your addiction that they created, you end up having to go black market. And then you end up in jail and with a felony, and you're unable to actually hold a job because people always say, have you ever committed a felony, when they actually do a job application, which I think is very rude and wrong, but that's just me. Yeah, I mean, it's just... People these days are just addicted to pain pills. And there's a reason for that, because pharmaceutical companies have these pain pills that are really easy and cheap to make, and they sell them for a huge profit. And it's just really wrong that we support businesses by just demonizing and addicting our population.
And most of it's probably psychological. I mean, I don't know if there'd be any way to actually test. Okay, so these 20 people say that, after they took this pill, they felt better. Well, do they really, or do they just convince themselves, or were they told up front it would cure them, so they convince themselves it's going to help them? Did it really help them?
Part of it could be psychosomatic.
So what do you call it?
Maybe. Psychosomatic.
Placebo.
Oh, well, yeah.
Maybe a lot of it's
you give them sugar water and say that's OxyContin, and they believe it. No, because the body actually reacts to it in a certain way. So, I mean, there are some things where you can do that with, but other things that you just can't. And we're talking about opioids. The body knows the difference between a placebo and an opioid, even if you don't. So, it's just not a good thing. At least that's my opinion. But I'm opinionated and an asshole, so.
But then they demonize people. Oh, you drink. Well, you're fucking taking all kinds of chemicals in your body. At least alcohol is a somewhat natural process.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. I think everybody worries about what everybody else is doing way too much. We need to stop that. We need to knock that off. Worry about yourself.
I'm typing on my phone.
I can hear it.
I'm typing badly on my phone.
As in you're saying something bad, or you're just
No, I'm just typing
sucking
shittily.
Shit it.
So we got about 10 minutes left in the first hour of the show before, well, actually about 5 minutes because we do our commercials and stuff. So the lessons learned for the first week in miniature, I think is what we called it, is that we're pretty much fucked. Okay. Apparently the doomsday clock is now 2.5 minutes to midnight. And that's not a good thing. We have a lot of saber rattling. We have a lot of bullshit coming out of our government at this point in time, to where it's causing this country, or the country and the world, to be a little bit afraid about where we're stepping next. That's not a good thing. What do you know about the doomsday clock, Doug? Because I'm not really that familiar with it.
I don't know shit.
Oh, come on. You got to know shit. You got to at least know shit.
Nah, not in this case.
Urban Dictionary.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to look it up.
But again, I'm afraid of stepping out the fucking door, so
Yeah.
I never know what's going to happen to me when I step outside.
Well, from what I understand, the doomsday clock means how midnight is nuclear war, and we are 2.5 minutes from nuclear war. And I remember back during the 80s when we had the big brouhaha with Libya, that there was the talk of the doomsday clock and this, that, and the other. So we are pushing the envelope when it comes to world peace.
We've been doing that for years. So.
Yeah. I mean, it comes and it goes. So, to me, yeah, the whole doomsday clock is kind of scary at times, but also it's not like it hasn't been there before. Although I do think it's funny that our new president has put a gag order on the national parks.
Oh, isn't that just... Oh, God.
It's like, oh my God, really? You put a gag order on the National Parks Administration? And then what did they do? The National Parks went out and created a private Twitter account that wasn't linked to the National Parks so they can continue to tweet. It's like, dude, come on. Did you think that they were going to shut up? No. Especially after you gagged them. So he's gag ordered the EPA. He's gag ordered the National Parks Association or administration. What else has he done this week? The whole worldwide abortion that's actually a non-issue.
Right.
Yeah. One person is to blame. Actually, it's probably a couple of people that to blame, but I'm just going to go there. What else has he done this week that's pissed people off?
Lived.
Oh, yeah. He's moved forward with the idea of the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partner. No, he says that he killed the TPP, which actually was killed by Obama several months ago. But he's going to take credit for it anyway. And then he moved forward on the Dakota Access Pipeline
Yeah.
and the Keystone XL pipeline. So we're going to open up our country so that Canada can send oil to Texas to process to sell to China. Now, how the fuck is that going to help our country?
It's going to create jobs.
Yeah, but
fucking morons.
How many jobs is it going to create? I think the original estimate was a couple hundred.
But for a very short period of time.
I mean, there may be a few more than that for a short period of time as they build the damn thing. But once it's in place, it's kind of like Nestle here in Arizona. Oh, it's going to create 50 jobs. Really? 50? That's it? You're going to suck up all of our water, bottle it, sell it back to us at 3 times the cost, and you're only going to create 50 jobs. How the fuck does that work?
contract jobs. I mean, because they're not going to last that long. Was it like 3 or 4 or maybe 6 months?
Well, I figure 6 months, and then all the water will be sucked out of Arizona, so they will have to move on, and we'll all be just living in, debt. We really are a really fucked up country. We really are looking at just self-annihilation, honestly.
And we did this to ourselves, too. That's the
Yes, we
problem.
did. So we're going to have to go through and head off into our PSAs. For those of you that don't know, that's a public service announcement commercial. And we will be back in about 5, and we will have with us Chalice Blythe from the Satanic Temple Utah chapter.
Woohoo!
So, easy, Turbo. Wow, that was a little loud.
It was in the middle of a yawn. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we will continue our discussion and go from there.
Hello, my name is Michelle Short. Stu DeHaan and myself are co-chapter heads of the Arizona chapter to the Satanic Temple. Our chapter was given birth in February of 2016 in the aftermath of our first and biggest challenge, when we requested to perform our invocation in front of the Phoenix City Council on behalf of the Satanic Temple. As Satanists that worship through activism, the mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy among all people, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense and justice, and be directed by the human conscience to undertake noble pursuits guided by the individual will. Civic-minded, the Satanic Temple has been involved in a number of good works, including fighting for women's body autonomy, religious plurality in public forums, working on behalf of children in public school who have been subjected to proselytizing and corporal punishment, and much, much more. As an organized religion, we feel it is our function to actively provide outreach, to lead by example, and to participate in public affairs, wheresoever the issues might benefit from rational satanic insights. As Satanists, we should all be guided by our consciences, to undertake noble pursuits, guided by our individual wills. We believe that this is a hope for all mankind and the aspiration for all humanity. For more information, please visit our websites, thesatanictemple.com and thesatanictemplearizona.com.
My name is Scott Pryor, chair of Arizona's LD16 Democrats. One of the things I have noticed since I became active in politics in 2012 is that people in general have increased their value of political affiliation over the value of humanity and community. Interpersonal communication has become more defined by our online communications and less defined by our face-to-face interactions. This has drastically reduced our ability to empathize with one another and find common ground to create real conversation and real solutions. If you frequent Facebook or Twitter or some of the other social media websites, you will see that many people are referring to each other as liberals or conservatives or libtards or Republicans. And many times, what starts as a real logical conversation becomes useless as people move from logical discourse to online shouting matches and name-calling. This type of behavior really must change. As chair of the LD16 Democrats, our local party will begin moving in a new direction. Instead of focusing on political change, we will begin focusing on changing ourselves and our communities. We will attempt to work together with others to help create better communication through cooperation, such as food and clothing drives, friendly competitions such as bowling, riflery, softball games, and yes, even karaoke.
Our goal is to try to take the political affiliation out